Hello dear students, so now today we would move ahead in this first chapter of class 10 political science, that is power sharing, where we have already discussed different forms of power sharing, and in the previous video we have discussed the Belgium model. Which type of model of power sharing they have accepted? They have accepted accommodation. Their model is named as accommodation. Just remember this term also. Accommodation means where all the communities have been accommodated and have been given some power, okay, and there is no conflict now. So this is kind of an excellent model there, okay. So now let's go to Sri Lanka, which we have already discussed how the communities have been divided there in Sri Lanka. We have already discussed this, okay. So now let's discuss which type of power sharing model they have accepted. They have accepted the majoritarianism. Majoritarianism means where the community which is in majority is ruling the country, like the Sinhala. If you see the Sri Lanka there, so if you have there in the northeastern part, you have Sri Lankan Tamils, Sri Lankan Tamils, okay, in the northeastern part. Then you have the rest which are in majority. These are the Sinhalas. So Sinhalas are in majorities there in Sri Lanka, means they are speaking Sinhala language and they are speaking the Tamil one, okay. So now if you see, on the basis of their majority, they have secured the dominance over the government, means they have formed the government in Sri Lanka, okay. So when they have formed the government here in Sri Lanka, means the Sinhala community, which was there in majority, have secured the dominance over the government and formed the government there. So the type of government they have said there was a kind of majoritarian, means they started taking majoritarian steps also, which are in favor of them because they are in majority, okay. So they started taking majoritarian steps. What are the majoritarian steps? Like they have formed an act in, I think, in 1957 around, okay. So they have just passed an act in 1956 rather, okay. So in this year they have passed an act. So according to this act, they have accepted Sinhala as the only official language of Sri Lanka. Tamils are also there, but they did not accept Tamil as the official language. They accepted Sinhala as the only official language here in Sri Lanka. So it's a kind of majoritarian step, yes or not? Which was not in favor of Sri Lankan Tamils, isn't it? Yes. And the next step, they started promoting Buddhism also. They have just there was there in their constitution that the government would promote the Buddhism all over the country. That is also kind of majoritarian step they have taken. Means on the basis of these steps, majoritarian steps, the Sri Lankan Tamil, there was some conflict between these two now, Sri Lankan Tamils and Sinhala, okay. There was some conflict between these two because the steps which they are taking, these steps are not in favor of the Sri Lankan Tamils, isn't it? Yes. So that is why they started demanding a separate region. This was the region where the Sri Lankan Tamils were living. They started demanding a total autonomy over this northeastern part of Sri Lanka. They started demanding a separate state or a separate region for them, known as Tamil Elam. So they started demanding for Tamil Elam. Tamil Elam means a separate region or the separate state for the Tamil, where they would be having the total power. Whatever they want to do, they can do it here. So they now started demanding for the separate Tamil Elam. But the Sinhalas were in majority, so they all the time they cancelled their demand. isn't it? They cancelled their demand, which led to a civil war, a huge civil war between these two communities. In this war, number of people were died, were killed, and these were from both the communities. Okay, so this was the majoritarianism. So is it in favor of the public there? No, not at all. So do you like this model there? No, not at all. That is why Belgium model is an excellent example. Okay, so let me write this now total. So this is what you have to write in your notebook. Sri Lanka, about Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka emerged as an independent state in 1948, and the Sinhala secured the dominance over the government and started taking majoritarian steps. Okay, for example, like Sinhala is the only official language, and state would promote the Buddhism. So these are some majoritarian steps. Okay, so therefore now the Sri Lankan Tamils started demanding for a separate region where they would be having the total autonomy or the total power, that is Tamil Elam, okay, for them, which led to a civil war between these two communities. Okay, so that is what you have to write about Sri Lanka. Okay, now we are going to discuss the last topic of this chapter, and with this we are going to conclude this chapter, that is the first chapter of class 10 political science. So the last topic is why power sharing is desirable. Okay, why do we need this power sharing? Okay, what is the need of this power sharing? Okay, why it is desirable? So there are two reasons. One reason is the prudential reason, and the second reason is the moral reason. Prudential reason stresses that power sharing will bring better outcome. It stresses that yes, power sharing will bring better outcome, like it will minimize the conflict between the communities, like in case of the Belgium. Getting it or not? The power sharing minimizes the minimize the conflict between the Dutch and the French. Yes or not? So this is the prudential reason. And the second reason is also there, that is known as the moral reason. And this reason emphasizes that very act of power sharing is valuable, and power sharing is the spirit of democracy. Because where there is democracy, so it is obvious that there would be power sharing also, isn't it? Like all have the right to choose their leaders. Getting it or not? But the leaders, some are elected and some are not elected, some are defeated. But the leaders, those who are elected, would be forming the laws not only for those who have voted them, rather they would be forming the laws for all. Okay, we have elected some leaders here. Suppose these are the people who have given vote to this one leader, and some people might have given vote to some other leader, but it loses the election. But the leader which has been elected here, it is not going to form the law only for this one. Rather, it would be going to form the law for all the people. That is the spirit of democracy. So this is the moral reason. So for these two reasons, power sharing is desirable. Getting it or not? So okay, that is all for today. And with this we have concluded this first chapter of class 10 political science. Okay, now in the next lecture we would be discussing the other chapter. Till then, stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you. Have a good day.